What a bright time, it's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time, it's a swell time to go riding in a one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet. Jingle around the clock, mix and a mingle and a jingling feet. That's the jingle bell, that's the jingle bell, that's the jingle bell rock. Yeah. Hello, Home Slices, and welcome back to Sup Media Reviews. Season 2 is here, and we're kicking things up a notch. We're diving into music, TV, and movies from over 20 years ago, plus we're kicking off a brand new YouTube series that's going to bring even more fun your way. This season is full of fresh reviews, special guests, and plenty of laughs. Ready to jump in? Let's get into this week's episode. What is up, Home Slices? I am Kiara, your host of the Sup Media Reviews podcast, where we review old movies and talk about whether or not they hold up today and if they're worth revisiting. Thanks so much for tuning into Sup Media Reviews today. And this week we are going to be reviewing Mean Girls, okay? The 2004 cult classic. Now, this movie was written by Tina Fey and features Lindsay Lohan as Katie Herring, Jonathan Bennett as Aaron Samuels, Rachel McAdams as Regina George, and Tina Fey herself as Mrs. Norbury. Now, I'll admit that I was a little late to the party when it came to recognizing how great Mean Girls was. There's kind of a reason for that. Okay, so years ago, my two sisters who are here with me today were at our grandma's house. We were left alone. Everybody else went out, and we saw this movie come on TV, and we watched it and we laughed so hard. Like, the movie had already been out to the point where it was literally on TV, and it's something that we quote and talk about even today. So it's something that bonds us together. So I have invited my sisters Arabia.
Hey everyone.
And Savannah.
Hello.
To join me today so we can review it. All right. So Arabia has been here before. This is maybe like her 7th time on the podcast, but this is Savannah's first time joining us. And so she is the last of my family members who's been able to join me.
Yes. A little late to the party.
Yes, on the podcast. So really happy to have her here today. So let's go ahead and dig into some fun facts. Okay. So Lindsay Lohan was actually originally cast as Regina George, but she chose to play Katie so the public wouldn't associate her real personality with the mean girl role. Rachel McAdams ended up as Regina because, according to the producer, only nice girls can play mean girls. Whatever that means. It's interesting because I feel like I can't watch Rachel McAdams in many other things because of how well she played this role.
Yeah, The Notebook is great.
I've never watched The Notebook because of it.
It's actually funny that for a long time, I didn't even know that was Rachel McAdams. The blonde hair and the way she acts, it like transformed her. And I didn't know that that was her for years. And I was like, this is the same person from The Notebook. And my favorite movie, A Time Traveler's Wife. I was like, wow, she really did a good job. Being
she can switch between roles. My favorite one of hers is The Notebook. I love that movie.
She's usually really sweet and nice, but she did a good job.
Yeah, she absolutely did. Okay, and Amanda Seyfried, I'm probably mispronouncing that last name, the girl who played Karen, was actually originally supposed to play Katie. So they switched all of the roles around.
Oh, wow.
Yes, but Lorne Michaels, the producer, thought that she'd be better as the dumb girl, and I think she did a great job.
Yeah,
she did really good.
She's so pretty.
Yes. Yes, those big eyes. Yeah. Also, the slang term fetch was invented by Tina Fey. She deliberately avoided using any real teen slang so it wouldn't feel dated later as the movie aged.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's smart.
Right. So the irony is that fetch never actually happened.
Yeah, no one caught on to the slang.
Exactly. And finally, to film the Chihuahua nipple nibbling scene, Amy Poehler pinned a piece of cocktail wiener in her shirt.
Oh. Hilarious. That's such a comedian move.
That's a weird way to start off a sentence.
It is. But I love that little moment. I feel like people don't talk about it, but it is hilarious.
Oh my gosh, and her face is like, Mom, can you get out of here, please?
Yes. So if you want to check out Mean Girls, you can watch it on Paramount Plus or Pluto as of the recording of this episode. So let's talk about cultural significance and personal connections. I talked a little bit about how we all first watched the movie, but Savannah, you want to talk about your connection to this film?
Well, like, this is a film that I show to people. Like, we had a party with my friends, and it was like a Mean Girls party. We went to the mall, and then we went and watched Mean Girls, and we all loved it. And some of them, I think there was one person who had seen it. He was a guy, and he had seen it, and he really enjoyed it. He laughed so hard when she got hit by the bus. Oh my gosh, he loved it.
And I think that's really interesting that, like, Mean Girls is primarily a girl's story.
Yeah.
About, 3 or multiple high school girls, a high school environment. But it's so funny that anybody can enjoy it.
Yeah. I even showed it to my great aunt and her husband and his son. They liked it too.
Yeah. It's good. It's good. What about you, Rebby? Your personal connection?
Guys, this is our movie. Like, I would never forget. Like, we stumbled across it on like TBS or something, and we were in that room, and like you couldn't watch whatever like during that time, and we were out of the country, so we just had to like get in where we fit in and to see what was ever's on. And we're like, what is this? This Lindsay Lohan? I've never heard of this ever. Like, I've never seen it before or heard it before, and we just had such a good time. We were like falling off the bed in laughter of like how good this was. And we were like, what is this movie? And anytime I see it, I think of you guys and the movies, the movie that we come across. It's like one of our special. This one and Paul, the Mall Cop. Is probably
Mall Cop, yes.
Those are like significant key moments in our sisterhood.
Yes.
And I usually watch It's Always On, so I like know it, and I've seen it a million times, and it's a great movie. And I feel like it snuck up.
Yes.
I think we
go to theaters. It had to, right?
I for sure went to theaters, but I don't think it was on my radar for some reason.
I think we watched it before it got really popular. Am I correct?
No, because we watched it when it was showing on TV, so it had to have been in theaters and out for a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, we don't know why, but we had never really paid attention to it. And then it came on and we watched it together and it was hilarious. Yeah. So we all really loved it. And it's a big part of pop culture. You hear the quotes all of the time, wearing pink on Wednesdays. You can't sit with us.
Yeah, I have a shirt that says you can't wear pink on Wednesdays. And then I haven't ordered it yet, but I got some Mean Girls stickers with the quotes.
October 3rd is like Mean Girls Day.
Yes.
Yeah, October 3rd.
Yes. And then they did the reboot recently for the 20th anniversary. That's like a musical version.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like it.
I hadn't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it either. It was fine. And it's not the original.
Netflix made a second one and it was horrible.
I don't think Netflix made that, but I do remember
it was on Netflix, but I don't know if they made it either.
On
the second one,
it was not good at all.
No, not at all. But yeah, we didn't need one. But we need a second Mean Girls. But yeah, it's a big deal culturally. So for me, this film is iconic for a lot of reasons. We have Lindsay Lohan, who was, of course, a child star. Mm-hmm. And then as she got older, there was a resurgence. So like we saw her when she was younger in Parent Trap and some other things, right?
I used to think she was a twin. I thought she had a twin.
Yes. And then she grew up a little bit and we saw her in Freaky Friday.
Miss Congeniality?
No, not Miss Congeniality.
Confessions of a Teenage Drama.
Yeah, that one.
That's my favorite one.
Yes. And then Mean Girls. And so this is her being older. I don't know how old she actually was when they filmed this, but I want to say she was in her 20s. I think they all might have been, 20s. In their early 20s.
I think Rachel McAdams was the oldest one.
Probably.
If I remember correctly.
It's crazy how time flies by and she's like almost 40, 30 something years old.
Yeah. Yeah, time flies. But yeah, so, we have this movie that features overwhelmingly female characters. It has a lot of people from SNL who are all, really funny.
Yeah.
It's written by a woman. It takes on like this very relatable issue of sometimes the cattiness that can happen in female friendships. Yeah, I think this movie, even though it's an exaggerated version of that, there's a lot of reasons to love this movie. So let's go ahead and dive in.
I do have a quick question. Did you guys have a Regina George at your schools?
No. Cliques weren't really a thing in high school. I mean, you had some cliques, but it wasn't like the Mean Girls where they excluded people. I feel like they included people, but they still had their certain cliques.
I feel like our high school had cliques, but we had maybe each group had its own Regina George, maybe. Or there were these really popular people that everyone knew and liked, but no one was mean like Regina. No one was mean and manipulative like Regina that I remember.
Yeah.
My school definitely did. I feel like there was two of them. They were co-Reginas.
Okay.
and then there was their group of followers, and yeah. they would fall out with each other. Watching them fall out with each other, because it's if one of the girls, the top ones, was mad at one of the other ones, everybody would be mad at them, and then it would be a thing for a while, and then eventually they wouldn't be mad at her anymore, and she would come back in, and I was like, why are you going back? They all treated you terribly in that one instance, and I don't know, I just stayed away from them. I was like, nah, I didn't talk to them that much, and I just had my own friends or whatever.
I would like to say I have an alter ego. And I'm a Gemini, and so I have multiple personalities. And when I get mad, I tend to become like Regina George a little. And I have my moments where I'm like Regina George.
Yeah, I don't know. I was a nerd. All right, let's get into this movie. Okay, so we kick off the movie where we meet Katie Heron, who is played by Lindsay Lohan. She's a 16-year-old who has spent her whole life being homeschooled by her zoologist parents in Africa. Now, I hate that they just say Africa. Africa's a freaking continent.
Yeah.
Where in Africa is she? Okay, but anyways, when her mom gets a tenured job at a United States university, Katie is thrust into an American public high school for the first time, and she almost gets hit by a bus on day one.
Yeah, that was funny with the irony at the beginning, and then when Regina actually got hit by the bus, and then at the end when the new Mean Girls came in. Yeah, the irony was pretty.
Why was that bus flying in front of the
in school? A school zone?
Yeah, I've never seen a bus move that fast.
Yes, they need to fire that driver. Yes, so her first day ends up being a disaster at the school. She gets in trouble for silly things like needing permission to go to the bathroom. She ends up eating lunch alone in the girls' bathroom, which would never work for me.
I don't know why that's in so many movies where they end up going in the bathroom. I would never ever eat in the bathroom.
Some of my friends would sit alone at lunch sometimes.
Sit alone.
But not in the bathroom.
Never was that a choice. That's disgusting. My bathroom air ain't touching my food.
Thank you. Yes. Absolutely. I totally agree. But yeah, poor thing didn't make any friends on her first day. But she quickly finds her people in Janice, who is played by Lizzie Kaplan, and Damien, who's played by Daniel Franzese. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. They're artsy, funny, and they are totally fine with skipping health class. They have their own thing, and I think they're happy to have a third person to be a part of their little crew. So Janice is one of the best characters in the movie. I actually really like her, and she has this kind of chaotic, honest energy. She's not trying to impress anyone, and she's pretty happy with herself, besides this vendetta against Regina. Yeah. And so Janice gives Katie this detailed social map of the school, and she's breaking down all the cliques. We have the jocks, the burnouts, Asian nerds, cool Asians, the unfriendly black hotties, the girls who eat their feelings, girls who don't eat anything, and then the plastics. So the map is one of the more relatable things in the movie to me. The anime kids might have been the only thing that was missing.
Yeah. Or the geeks. Did they say geeks?
Well, they had the nerds.
Yeah, they're nerds.
No,
Yeah. Yeah. And so the Plastics are like the ruling clique of the 11th grade. We have Karen Smith, who is the lovable, dim-witted blonde. We have Gretchen Wieners, whose hair is big because it's full of secrets. Mm-hmm. And her dad invented the toaster strudel.
It's hilarious how they came up with that.
Yes. We also have Regina George, who's the queen bee, who has financial wealth and also a lot of social capital at the school.
Did she ever say how she got that wealth?
No, her parents were just rich.
Her parents were just rich? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know that we know how they were rich, though.
Yeah.
But we get a few student testimonials about Regina that show how much power she holds. She sets trends. She sets the pace for the school. And so Regina invites Katie to sit with the Plastics, after she rescues her from some weird dude. Jason, I think is his name.
Mm-hmm.
And
is your muffin buttered?
Yes. And on the surface, it seems like, it's a compliment and she's inviting her in, but you can tell that it's not genuine. She is sizing Katie up.
Right.
The Plastics have a whole rule book about wearing pink on Wednesdays and that they have to consult the group before they do certain things. So there is a literal social structure within the group. So,
I also noticed that I think Regina thought she was too pretty, and I think that's why she felt threatened by her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Agreed. And so Katie develops a crush on Aaron Samuels in math class, who happens to be Regina's ex. Now, Janice convinces Katie to keep infiltrating the Plastics and report back. And so Katie kind of reluctantly agrees. Katie is still trying to figure out her life because she's been homeschooled. She hasn't been socialized with a lot of people, let alone people in high school. So she's quite naive and people can get her to do things easily.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so at Regina's house, we meet her cool mom, played by Amy Poehler, who is a lot. She has a hard boob job. She makes the girls mocktails. She gets her nipple nibbled by the chihuahua. And so Regina has the master suite of her, parents' house. She has almost no parental supervision, so she kind of gets to do whatever she wants. So the Plastics gather around the mirror. They're making these self-deprecating comments, and they're pressuring Katie to join in. And I'm like, I don't get this.
Yeah, I actually did that part for an assignment in psychology of women. We were talking about beauty, and I used that scene to talk about how women always have the insecurities and stuff. And then Katie was like, I have bad breath in the morning.
Yes, and it's don't we all?
Yeah.
She was like, there's something I really don't like about myself.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. But we see how easy it was to get her to play along.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Almost no pushback. So we also get introduced to the Burn Book, which is a mean scrapbook that the Plastics have compiled full of nasty entries about basically every girl in the school. And this is going to become a nuclear weapon later.
Yes.
And so Aaron is getting flirty with Katie, and Regina kind of isn't having it. So Regina starts to show her true colors. She pulls Katie into this weird three-way call. She basically kind of sets Katie up and publicly embarrasses her, and then gets back with Aaron right in front of her, claiming that she was going to go talk to him for her. Also, Katie showed up to the Halloween party in a scary bride dress with awful teeth because she doesn't know how Halloween parties work in the U.S. And so Katie leaves the party furious and finally sees Regina for who she is. Okay, so we'll pause there. All right, y'all, let's discuss. What was your first impression of Katie? And did she seem relatable to you, or did she seem too much like the naive newcomer?
I've been a new girl a lot. It was relatable in that way. I wasn't naive. You couldn't get me to do stuff. But I know I was trying to figure out who's who and who's friends with who and what's this person, what are these people into and who would I want to be friends with. I related to her in that way. And I wasn't naive or that trusting of people anyway, like her. But she's never been around any other American teenager or child. So it really did make sense for her.
Yeah.
I've been a new girl once when I moved here to where we are now. But I knew people that went there that was part of my church. One girl went to my church. She was like, I know you go to my church, but I low-key didn't. I didn't know who she was. Because she didn't really go to church a lot. And then I started to see her every now and then. I was like, oh. And she introduced me to her friends. And then, like, I feel like being a new girl, I still wasn't, like, naive, but I would kind of play along with other people because I didn't know where I fit in yet. So I will say that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Katie is relatable. I went to the same high school for 9th through 11th grade, but I had to transfer schools in 12th grade. And it's like, this is my last year. Do I really want to make friends? And so, like, I didn't really find my people in high school my last year, which is fine. I only went to school for, like, the first 5 periods, and then I worked. So that last year of high school was just me grinding. I worked at an Italian restaurant called Gugliani's.
Gugliani's.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. But yeah, I totally get that. Okay, what do you all think about this part of the movie as we're getting to learn all of the characters? We got Gretchen and Karen, and of course Queen Bee Regina. What do you all think about their dynamic?
I will say, like, Gretchen was also naive in a way.
Okay, I can agree with that.
But I feel like she had been not liked Regina. Like, I felt like she had already had that notion that she didn't like Regina, but she wanted to belong in a popular group so bad. So I will say that about Gretchen. And Karen was she wasn't clueless. She was just Karen. She was just being Karen.
Yeah. What about you, Arabia? Yeah.
I liked Karen immediately. I was like, oh, she's like the little wasn't quite the brightest, but she was sweet. She was really sweet. And Gretchen, yeah, she just wanted to make sure that she was, like, number 2, and she was going to stay on Regina's good side, even though she was, like, yeah, like you said, she knew Regina wasn't a really good person, Yeah. Even though they worked well to manipulate Katie together, all together and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very interesting because you see Gretchen fighting to keep that second place. And so you see Katie coming in, and Katie is basically, like, rising in the ranks,
right,
in the friendship, and she's, like, trying to hold her spot, and then she kind of breaks, and she's, you know, saying things that she shouldn't say, and she's
she's like crashing out.
Yeah, at some point she's like a mouthpiece for Regina, which I think is crazy, like. And, you know, she's snitching about her liking Aaron. Yeah.
Ugh, the Aaron thing. I was like, oh, this is so evil. Because she was like, I knew she wasn't going to talk to him, but then she also noticed that she was actually into Katie. And that's when she was like, no, she can't have it. You can't have her. So she went for him. And Aaron was weak, though.
Aaron was really naive and, like,
I don't think he was naive. I just think he was just weak.
Yeah.
Yeah. Regina's obsessed with control. And it's like, if she feels like the control is slipping, she'll go to drastic measures to get it back.
Right.
And so, yeah, we're going to see how they sabotage her in a little bit. When did you all first clock that Regina was mean and manipulative? What did you think was, like, the first instant where you were like, okay, she's bad?
I would say when Janice really showed, like, do not hang out with her. And then, like, seeing what she would say to the group and how she, like, treated her friends. Okay. Any particular scene?
I just felt like when she stopped her and then at first she almost was, like, a little nice because she saved her from talking to that guy that was asking her all those crazy questions. And then, like, the complimenting on her bracelet. And I was like, that did not seem genuine.
That bracelet was made of Cheerios.
Yeah.
And she's just trying to appear nice to, like, lure her in and, like, oh yeah, and she was like, you're really pretty. And she's like, oh, so you think you're really pretty. And it was like that first moment, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, you could tell she was kind of, like, a little petty.
Yeah, that was the moment for me when she was like, oh, so you think you're pretty. But there's a moment where Jason, who was kind of dating Gretchen, they're in the mall and they come across Jason talking to another girl, and she calls that girl's mom. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, and she says, like, this is from Planned Parenthood.
Yes, I was like, that's diabolical.
It is diabolical, but also having Gretchen's back was kind of That's
Yes.
a real friend. Even though the whole thing was diabolical, and she thought about that off the rip, and it was like, wow, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, any other thoughts about the beginning of the movie?
I really like Damien. I think Damien's hilarious.
Yes, Damien is great. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Danny DeVito.
You can't be in here.
Yeah, I like how kind of irreverent Damien is. He's like on board. I enjoy his dynamic with Janice. You can tell they've been friends for a really long time.
Yeah.
I love them together.
Yeah.
Janice, I really like her. And she has, this goth look about her. And she's
very
really
spicy personality.
Intense. And you can tell how much she hates Regina. Yeah. She ruined my life.
She's passionate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very passionate.
Yeah. So I like them. Okay. We good?
Yeah.
To move on? All right. Let's move on to the second part of the movie when we get to the part where we're talking about the conflict. So after the Halloween party, Katie, Janice, and Damien officially launch their plan to take Regina down. They have a 3-pronged attack. We got to break up her relationship with Aaron Samuels. We got to destroy her hot body. And we got to crack the group of friends. So in phase 1, they use foot cream and they cut boob holes in her shirts. They swap her face cream with foot cream. And the shirt thing backfires because Regina, wears it anyway, and it starts a trend around the school, which is crazy. We got phase 2, which is the Caltine bars. Apparently, Katie's mom brought these from Africa to help malnourished children gain weight. And so the gang starts slipping them to Regina as health bars to sabotage her figure, which works. Phase number 3 is cracking Gretchen. So Katie...
It was so easy. It was way too easy.
Katie uses candy cane grams during, holiday time to make Gretchen feel left out and insecure, and that works slowly. Meanwhile, the talent show happens and we have Damien, who sings beautiful and people hate it. We got Kevin G at the
you suckers and singing
ain't got nothing on me.
Be like, oh, Kevin G. he delivers his unhinged rap. And we have the Plastics doing their normal sexy jingle bell rock routine that's in freaking latex and these inappropriate crop top. And
the dad's face was hilarious. Katie's dad's face was like, what?
Regina's mom.
Dancing in the aisles.
An iconic scene.
Yes. Yeah. But Gretchen is starting to realize that she's kind of losing her position in the friendship. And so she's like, she has to swap places at the last minute, which throws everything off. And she kicks the boombox and, almost ruins the performance. But Katie saves the performance by singing a cappella. Everyone joins in and they finish their inappropriate dance. Okay. It's actually kind of a fun moment. Now, Gretchen finally cracks when Regina publicly dismisses her use of the word fetch. So she ends up spilling all of Regina's secrets, including that Regina has been cheating on Aaron with a guy in the projection room every Thursday. And there's this funny montage of them trying to get Aaron to catch her in the act, but it does not work. So we got to get the plan back in motion. There's a point where Katie starts to tank her grades so that she can do tutoring sessions with Aaron, even though she should be tutoring him.
Yeah, no. She should have just switched that around. That would have been better.
Yes. Like, hey, can I help you?
Yeah.
But she kind of buys into this thing of like, oh, I need to play dumb so that he can feel smarter, which is a mistake.
Yeah.
But yes, she starts doing that. And so they do these private, tutoring sessions and they get snuggled up and they kiss and he's like, oh, this isn't right. I'm dating Regina. And Katie is like, she's cheating on you. And she spills the beans about the cheating. So yeah, that ends her relationship with him. So phase 1 is complete. Okay. But the problem is that over time, as we're enacting this plan, is that Katie is starting to lose herself. She is, like I said, taking math, which is a subject that she's really good in. She's drifting away from Janice and Damien and not spending as much time with them. And she's slowly becoming what she was supposed to be fighting against. She's becoming a plastic. And so in a critical scene, we're at Janice's workplace and Katie only wants to talk about Regina. And Janice is like, like over it, right? She's like, you're kind of obsessed with her. Katie starts lying about her whereabouts, and she ends up missing Janice's art show to throw a house party, which quickly spins out of control. So at the party, Aaron confronts Katie, and he tells her that she's becoming a clone of Regina. And Katie, humiliated and tipsy, ends up throwing up on him when, right as Regina kind of catches them in her room. Now, Janice pulls up.
She's pissed. Absolutely pissed.
Janice and Damien do this little slow drive-by situation to call her out. And Janice tells her, you missed my show. You are plastic now. You're not pretending anymore. And she's like, you've been a really bad friend. And you're a mean girl. And she throws the painting at Katie that she made of the three of them. And it's this gut punch to Katie of like, I spent so much time pretending that like I'm low-key not pretending anymore.
She even accuses Janice of being in love with her.
Yes. Yes. And she's like, girl, you are Regina 2.0. You are Timu Regina. But meanwhile, Regina finds out that the counting bars were a trick, and she snaps and she goes to the burn book and writes the most vicious entry about herself. This girl is the nastiest skank bitch I've ever met. And she takes it to the principal, claiming that she found it and that the 3 remaining plastics are responsible. And while they are being questioned, she photocopies the entire book and scatters the pages across the school. All hell breaks loose. There are cat fights everywhere, which we saw a few jungle fights earlier. Yeah. But now this one is actually real.
Yeah, that was like the irony.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, of course. And that's this part of the movie, okay? All right. What do y'all think about this part of the movie? When do you all think Katie crossed the line from justified revenge to actual mean girl?
I feel like as she went on, like when the plan actually started working, I think that's when she became mean girl. And I think her ultimate goal was to be Regina George. So kind of get her out of there.
You think that was her intention?
I think like she wanted to a little bit.
I don't think she wanted to be Regina George. I just think that she was just losing herself. Because I think the moment when she noticed that she was like into her looks and kept adjusting the way she looked there and like her adjusting her lip gloss and stuff.
Oh yeah, at the mall.
When she started slipping, and then she would talk about it. She even said, like, she does like her, like, she's narrating. She's like, I just couldn't stop. I just couldn't stop talking about her. And, and that's when she was starting to turn.
Yeah, there were moments where we could see that she was becoming obsessed, like not just with her own appearance, but like she would stop making plans with Damien and Janice. She would do certain things on her own to continue to sabotage the plan.
The way she talks to Aaron when she invites him to the party, and I was like,
yeah, she said, you better be there, biatch.
It's like, oh, okay, I'll come.
Yeah, it's really interesting because there's this part of the movie where Aaron is in Katie's room and he sees a picture of her with the 3 other girls, and then he moves it, and behind it is a picture of her as a little girl on the elephant, and it's like to symbolize that he liked who she was before, right, and not who she became. So at some point she made a transition, and it made her worse.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, y'all, Katie failing math on purpose.
So annoying.
I mean, she could have hung out with him by helping him with math. That would have been better.
The idea was better instead of like failing and
like purposely failing. That was kind of a stupid move.
I didn't like it, and he didn't even like it either. He was like, "Why would you do that? That's dumb."
Yeah, when she told him, he was like, "Why would you do that?"
The party, though, she didn't initially lie to Janice when she first asked Janice to come to the art show. She really was going to Madison with her parents, but then once Regina, because they kicked Regina out of lunch.
You can't sit with us
because Regina was wearing sweatpants, and that's not something they do, and they were already over her, and so she kicked her out. And they were like trying to follow her around, and then she was like, "Oh shoot, am I the new Queen Bee?" And that's when they asked her what we're doing. She's like, "Oh, I'm going to Madison with my parents." And then they were like, "What?" And she was like, "Oh, I guess not." So she didn't lie to Janice at first, but then she didn't inform Janice
or like invite her
once the plan changed that she was throwing a little party. And I think she really meant for it to be a few people. That's another. The naivety was like, it was really supposed to be a few people. And then also...
Because, in high
like
school...
she knew that she was drinking? Because I felt like she didn't.
Oh, you think that she...
She didn't know any... I think someone spiked it.
No, I don't think... I mean, I know that alcohol was there, but I feel like she might have not been aware that it was alcohol.
No, there was one point where she took a shot.
She did, but I felt like she didn't know what that was. I don't know. I was thinking she didn't really know that was...
I don't know.
Alcohol.
Yeah. But, like, going back to the part about the naivete of, like, not knowing that the party was, of course, going to blow up, but also the part about her friends being able to convince her to flake on her parents.
Yeah.
Like, how quickly that was. If I'm the queen bee, y'all just do what I say anyway.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm going, y'all figure it out, right? But instead, she's just easily, almost without any pushback.
Yeah, whatever.
They're like, oh yeah, we're throwing a party.
Yeah, and like how house parties work, you invite a few people and then the word gets out and there's more people than you think.
Yeah. Let's talk about Gretchen real quick. So Gretchen starts kind of crashing out at this point about how she is losing her grip as, the number 2 person in the plastics. Do you all feel like she deserves this, or do you feel a little sorry for her, a little sympathy?
No, I don't feel bad for her. I feel like she knew what she signed up for, but I guess she didn't think that she would ever be in jeopardy and that someone else would be coming in and Regina would take interest in. So I didn't really feel bad for her. I would have felt bad for Karen because I liked Karen, but like Gretchen, I don't know. I didn't feel bad for her at all.
Me neither. She was just she just wanted attention she wanted all the attention. She's an attention seeker.
Yeah. I think it's interesting. Something about Gretchen reminds me of, is it Steven from Django? Do you know who I'm talking about? Samuel L. Jackson's character.
Oh, yes.
In Django?
I never seen that.
Okay. Well, a person who just is like so fawning over the boss or,
okay, yeah.
And yeah.
Like a Dwight?
Yeah, Dwight, yeah.
Yeah, along those lines. And it's like, okay, if somebody comes in and threatens my position, because they recognize that they don't have enough of a personality or power or whatever to be number 1.
Right.
And so number 2 is the highest that they can go. And so they really need to be number 2, and it's slipping away from her. I don't feel much sympathy for her either.
Especially at the end when you find out what her fate is, like where she ended up.
Yeah, sure. Okay, last question. Regina photocopying the burn book.
She's a genius. She's an evil mastermind. One thing to just turn them in, but then she was like, I'm going to burn this place down. And then when it goes to her standing there watching the chaos she like unfold that she's created, it was really good.
The fact that she was enjoying it was crazy to me.
She just knew. She was like, that's it.
And I feel like in the musical one, I feel like they had this song when she did it, and that girl did fire. Oh my God, that was so good.
Yeah, it's absolutely diabolical. I do think that she is a manipulative mastermind. Maybe a little bit of a sociopath.
Yeah, a little bit.
But I think it's just so interesting because the other thing that we haven't talked about, when Damien says her hair is full of secrets, Gretchen really is the person who knows everything in the school. And so the burn book partly is due to her knowledge about things that are going on, including inappropriate relationships with the gym teacher and some of the students. And things along those lines. And so as all of that stuff comes out, we see how all of these secrets and things come to light and how they destroy relationships between people and they're fighting each other.
Yeah. It was crazy. And it was like the thing with the teacher and the girls, and they were like,
Coach Carr, step away from the children.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. They were a little casual about that.
Yeah.
That was a little more serious than that. Okay. Any other thoughts on that before we move on? No. And I want my pink shirt back. Okay. All right. So next up we have the principal, who is calling all of the junior girls to the gym after the riot. We have Damien, who's there in disguise. And the principal tries to lead this type of feeling circle thing, but he can't hold it together. because a girl is like volunteers and she's like, I have a heavy flow and a wide set vagina. And he's like, I'm not equipped for this.
He's like, I'm out.
I can't do this part.
And so he quickly hands it over to Miss Norbury, who magically comes up with the workshop.
I was like, is she a counselor?
Right.
I would have been like, say sorry. I wouldn't have, not that quickly. I don't know what to do if she threw it on me.
Right.
Where was their counselor? But whatever.
Right. She just did some Iyanla stuff. You know?
Yeah, Iyanla stuff. Like,
in the gym, off the top of her head.
Mm-hmm.
And, even with the drug dealing accusations against her.
Yeah, and Katie would not say anything at first.
Yeah.
She was like, nobody. Because she knew it was Katie. I feel like she knew it was Katie.
No, I don't think so.
I think she figured it out later.
Later? Yeah.
But not at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, Miss Norbury, like I said, leads this exercise, this restorative exercise to get everyone on board. Like, who here has talked about somebody behind their back, or, who here has been personally victimized by Regina George?
Everybody, including staff, raise their hands.
Yes.
Yeah.
She tries to weasel her way out of there, and it's like, girl, sit down.
Yeah. This is
your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're here because of you. And so girls are confronting each other. We got some trust falls going. We got forgiveness being asked.
We got a girl that doesn't even go there.
Yes.
You don't even go here. She's like, I want everybody to live in peace and harmony. She doesn't even go here.
How did she get there?
I don't know how she got there.
Yeah, how did you get there? How you know that all was, like, was it on the news? Like, what?
How did she know about the session in the gym?
Yeah. Where did she go?
Like, has she been stalking people in the school?
Who knows? But some small beefs get squashed, and one of the Japanese, I don't know if they're Japanese, one of the Asian girls says the N-word in Japanese.
Yeah, and I was like,
that's what she was saying?
If you read the subtitle,
yes.
She was like, she could have just said, bitch, please, but that's not what she said. And I was like, what does this have to do with it?
Yes, absolutely.
That's hilarious.
Absolutely, yeah. So there is a moment where Miss Norbury calls on Katie to see if she has anything that she needs to, own up to or apologize for. Katie is like, nah. And she's just not ready yet. And Miss Norbury is visibly disappointed in her. Mm-hmm. But then when it's Janice's turn to do the trust fall, she ends up going off script because Regina makes a comment about her, loving falling into a group of girls.
I know. I was like, really? This is why we're here.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And so she blows everything up. She decides to, crash out on everybody, and she starts confessing to everything. And she's like, Regina, we put foot cream on your face.
Like, we did all this. Katie was just
convinced Aaron to break up with you.
Like, we did it all.
We made you gain all that weight.
Yes.
We turned your friends against you.
Yes. And she's like, yeah. It was our idea. Mm-hmm. Katie, too.
Yeah, my friend Katie over there, y'all see her? I was like, Katie was like, because she had left. She was at the front of the line. She had tried to get to the back.
Yes. And so the crowd loves her for it. They receive her in her trust ball like a freaking rock star.
It's all because I have a big lesbian crush on you. Suck on that.
And so Regina leaves in a rage.
Yeah.
Katie follows her to apologize. And, when Regina turns around to, give it to Katie, she ends up getting hit by a school bus.
Like, for real.
And that's how Regina George died.
No,
I remember gasping. I did not expect that to happen.
I was gasping, then I started laughing so hard.
I was like, oh my gosh, she really, I thought she was going to die. I was like, dang, she's going to die? She really, in all honesty, should have died. That bus was going very fast. So I don't
know who, they need to fire that driver.
This took a turn.
Yes, absolutely. But she doesn't die. Mm-hmm. Some people, because people were following them out, believe that Katie even pushed her in front of the bus, which is absolutely not true. Mm-hmm. But Katie ends up hitting rock bottom. She gets grounded for the first time by her parents. She's back to eating in the bathroom. Gross. Miss Norbury is being investigated about, the drug allegation. And so Katie decides to come clean, kind of inspired by Aaron. And she takes credit for the burn book to end the investigation and begins this real kind of apology tour. She sends flowers to Regina. She reconciles with Miss Norbury and Aaron as well. And so as her punishment, she has to join the mathletes, which leads them to the state championship. And in a tiebreaker, Katie has to solve a limits problem under pressure. And during that time, you can hear in her thoughts, she's talking about the other opponent's snaggletooth and unibrow or whatever it is she has going on. And she's like, you know what? None of that matters. Like, she could still beat me.
Yeah.
And, even though she is not a plastic. And so in that moment, she recognizes, like, it really isn't about how you look. It's about being good at what you do.
Yeah.
So they do end up winning, which is great. Kevin G rips his shirt open as a mathlete. They celebrate and they decide to show up to the spring fling in their Letterman mathlete jackets. Okay. Katie ends up winning spring fling queen. I can't say that word. Spring fling queen. Okay. It's a surprise, but some people voted for her because they thought she almost killed Regina.
Nuts.
And others because, she at some point was a queen of plastic. So in her acceptance speech, which she doesn't have to make, she ends up apologizing. She compliments the other nominees and she ends up breaking the crown down into pieces. And she's like...
And Davian gasped. He was like, no.
Because it's not a big deal. Like, you place so much emphasis on being spring fling queen, and it really
being popular.
Yes, right. And she basically makes a speech to say, none of that matters as long as you're good to the people around you. Yeah. And so she breaks down the crown into pieces. She throws some into the crowd, and, everyone loves it. It's genuinely a sweet moment. The school already starts to feel less cliquey. And so we get this resolution montage. We got Katie and Aaron who get back together and they're slow dancing. We have Damien and Janice who kiss. But
he's like, no, I'm still gay.
No, that was not.
He was like, no, I'm gay.
Yeah, they hate it. Kevin G swoops in to dance with Janice, and he's like trying to make sure she's not white because he only dates women of color.
Yeah, and I was like shocked. I was like, oh, I knew she wasn't white, but like I knew it was something.
Yeah, she's Lebanese. Is that what
she's Lebanese.
Yes, and he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
So she's not a lesbian.
Yeah.
And we see Regina, who made a full recovery and decided to channel her aggression into lacrosse, where she is thriving. And Gretchen finds a new queen bee to serve with Japanese clip.
She didn't learn nothing.
She didn't change. No, she did not change. She was like, I have to be a follower. I have to be second in command, and straightened her hair.
And then she even learned their language, and I was like, okay, girl.
She's committed.
Yes.
Yeah.
She has to be in a clique.
Yes, absolutely. And so we see Katie hanging out with like a diverse, drama-free friend group, and we see order has been restored. Not that it ever existed, but like there's order now. Like, people are with, the people that are most like them, the people they have the most in common with.
Yeah.
The cliques are not butting heads. They just have this peaceful understanding, and everyone is in their place. And then the film closes with a new batch of plastics forming, and Katie jokingly implies that they know what to do with them as a school bus flies by once again.
Yes. They almost got mashed up.
Right. It's dark, but it's funny. It's like, don't come over here starting that plastic stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, y'all, that's the end of the movie. What do y'all think?
I also like that Karen was a part of their friend group at the end.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
And then Karen, it was already raining, and she was like, my boobs predict that there will be a slight chance of rain, but it's already raining. I was like, what?
Yeah. It was good at the end. I'm glad that once Katie realized that Mrs. Norbury could get in trouble, she was like, oh, I have to confess to this. Even though I don't like that nobody else
owned up.
Yeah. But I get it. And,
because that book existed long before Katie got there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like, she wasn't even here when this happened. Like, if they really were looking into it or whatnot.
I would like to have like a replica, but like with blank pages. But like, I don't want the front of it. This says burn book. They do? I can't find them anywhere.
Really? I've seen them before.
Maybe on Amazon. I could probably look on Amazon.
Probably.
Yeah, go for it.
Her parents were just like, who are you becoming? Her mom was really upset. She was like, this is the fertility base of somewhere.
Some tribe.
She's like, does that mean anything to you? And she was like, no.
And I was like, dang.
It was like, oh wow, yeah, she's a different. She's like, you're a different person or whatnot. And I think Dad was like, it's all good. At least you're good in school. And she was like,
nah,
I'm kind of feeling mad. And he was like, yeah, you're grounded.
And then he let her go out, and he was like, and she was like, where's Katie? And she was like, oh, she went out. And she was like, she's grounded. And he was like, oh, that's what you're supposed to do when you're grounded. And I was like, dude.
Were you never grounded? I know she grew up in Africa, but I don't think you guys did.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were naive in their own ways.
Yeah.
Well, like letting her get out of going with them to Madison.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had their own naive moments. Yeah. Janice's big monologue.
Oh, it was great. I
enjoyed it.
It was good. She just admitted to everything, and I feel like Katie was not expecting that, so it was a little.
No, it's interesting because I feel like Janice needed to move on because of how obsessed she was with Regina ruining her life. I think letting all of that out allowed her to move on from that, and it's like, we got you back, and there's that. And she moved on and found Kevin G.
I suck him and see him something.
Okay. Do you all think that Katie's arc feels earned? Like, she goes from being naive girl to getting revenge, but then to mean plastic, and then things go crazy, and then she takes credit for the burn book and she apologizes and everything is good. Does that feel good, or do you think that she should have gotten more consequences?
I feel like it feels good because it wasn't like she was plastic day one, or she started the book like with them, or I feel like it makes sense.
She only agreed to the revenge when she actually did something to her.
Because she was like, she didn't even take Janice. One thing though, she wasn't naive about was when Janice was telling her how mean Regina was. Well, I guess it was naive on her part, but she didn't like just take Janice's word for it. It was up until Regina actually showed her, and she was like, "Oh, you're not nice. You're not really nice." Yeah. What did you think?
Yeah, I think that overall the arc feels good. If anything, I think that Regina might have got off a little easy.
No, she got off too easy.
I mean,
she did get hit by that bus.
Yes.
But
she should have got some like school punishment.
I feel like the society, like the school body, she didn't face any consequences with them or whatnot. Yeah. She was still up there for spring fling and whatnot.
Yeah. I don't think we ever circle back about what happened to the coach.
No.
Well, they did say he got arrested, right?
Did they? I don't remember.
I don't remember that part.
Or he got in trouble or something.
They just said that turned out to be true. And but they didn't say what happened.
Yeah. We should have closed the loop on that one.
Yeah. That would have been too deep. It would have been like, all right.
But yeah. Anything else? I feel like, like we said, Gretchen didn't really learn anything. But she was punished because she lost the thing that was most important to her, which was Rachel's approval. I mean, not Rachel. Regina.
I feel like Karen was just there for the ride.
Yeah.
But
Karen wasn't like malicious.
Yes.
Yeah, no, she wasn't.
She was kind of like a mindless follower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, ignorance was kind of bliss for her.
Right.
Yeah.
It reminds me of is it Shinzi from Lion King? Like the one hyena that was just laughing all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Reminds me of that. Okay, cool. Any other things about the ending of the movie? Watch the street, before you cross. Look both ways.
Yeah. Barney taught me that. Look both ways till you cross the street. Look both ways till you move your feet.
Look at Barney saving lives.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, y'all, that's the end of Mean Girls. Okay, before we go into a little bit more of the discussion, what's your favorite Mean Girls quote?
Boo, you whore. It's the best one.
Probably, I want my picture back.
I love, you can't sit with us. You
Yeah.
can apply it to so many things.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So that's the end of the movie. And at the end of every review, we ask the same 2 questions. Is the movie worth a rewatch and does it hold up today? Savannah, what do you think?
I mean, I've seen the movie 1,000 times, and every now and then I'm like, let's watch Mean Girls. And I feel like it does hold up today, but I also feel like there's less clicks
Okay.
than there were like during when the movie came out. But I will also say like it still has that same lesson that everyone, just to be nice to everyone because you never know what other people are going through and stuff like that.
Okay, cool. Arabia, what about you?
I think it's definitely rewatchable and it's still funny. I think it mostly holds up. They do say some things that
That wouldn't fly today, yeah.
and weren't necessary.
Yes.
For sure, and things that like happened and we kind of brushed past because there's the fact they brought up Karen being into her first cousin and we kind of moved past it really quickly and it was like what the heck.
Yeah.
But it was definitely worth rewatching.
And then Karen was like, there are white people in Africa?
And that
was funny.
It was little
She was like, Karen, that's racist.
Yeah, little moments like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
What do
for
you think?
sure. Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, it's very rewatchable. We literally just rewatched it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was still funny.
Mhm.
I love getting to relive the iconic moments and quotes and everything. And the story is always cohesive and easy to follow.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes I feel like there are these little nuggets of things that you forget and, you get to see them again and they're always great. So
Yeah.
it's a joy to revisit the movie every time that I do. And I think it mostly holds up today for many of the same reasons that Arabia said.
Mhm.
We have high school girl drama,
Mhm.
and I feel like it's handled in a way that's a little more responsible than some of the other high school drama movies,
Right.
Mhm.
like Heathers or The Craft.
Mhm.
Those
Heathers
are
is
more
wild. That is the wildest thing I've
The
ever seen.
teachers don't usually really get involved or like adults and they don't usually work it out in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they managed to relay a lesson without relying too heavy on the drama. And there was some type of adult supervision, stepping in to help as well. So by the end, the school does achieve some peace, and normality, without all of the exclusiveness or like excluding people or having all that clique mentality, which on some level, it might be a little bit of a pipe dream in real life, but I think it's still a great thing to see play out on screen and a good lesson for everyone to learn. So It's a hilarious movie. It's very quotable. The casting is relatively inclusive, despite the main characters all being white pretty much, because some of the other cast members that are like in the background, we see people of differing abilities, different body types, some different racial backgrounds, with some of those other supporting characters. I think the whole cast did a great job acting, and that the movie delivers a good message without taking itself too seriously. It's still very funny. Now, there are a few things that don't hold up for me. I think we talked about the R word. No, we haven't brought that up yet. Regina uses the R word a lot, which is not okay to use in this day and time. There are several non-Black characters that use Black sense and AAVE, including Kevin G. And the young lady that's in the wheelchair. I don't know that she had a name. There is a very casual, ridiculously casual depiction of a teacher with inappropriate relationships with multiple teen girls. There's a use of the N-word in Japanese. So it's like,
Yeah.
There are some things that don't really hold up. There's also, homophobia with, gay rumors with Janice. And then there's, all the ostracization around other things too. So some of the things feel like a sign of the times 20 years ago, but I think it's still worth noting that a lot of these things are not okay today. Yes. So all that said, overall, it still holds up for me. And we were watching it a couple of years ago, and our little brother Alexander also watched it with us, and he really enjoyed it too, which just shows it's not just girls that, like this movie. I think that says something about its staying power. Okay, let's talk about the ratings, y'all. So Mean Girls received an 84% from critics and a 66% from the audience members. What do y'all think about those?
Wow, the critics liked it more. That's still crazy.
I think so.
I thought I would be reversed for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I know when it came out the movie theater, it's a cult classic because it didn't do good in theaters.
I don't know if it did well or not.
I don't know either.
I'm not sure. I know I would call it a cult classic now, but I don't know how it did in movie theaters. I'm very surprised because it's almost a 20-point difference from the audience.
I can't believe critics rated it that high.
Yeah.
I mean, the 66% from the audience is nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What would you all rate it?
I would give it probably an 80.
Okay.
90.
I'm closer to like 90-ish too. Yeah. Really enjoyed it. Yeah. I'm shocked by how low the audience rating is. And I think the critics for once are like more on target. Yeah. But, all the nostalgia, all of the laughs, and, it centers female characters. Those are all things that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, y'all. So thank you so much for tuning into the Sup Media Reviews podcast for our Mean Girls review. I want to say a huge special thanks to my two sisters here. Thank you all so much. Y'all say bye.
Bye.
Bye. See you next time.
See you next time.
So glad you all came through. All right, Home Slices, let us know if you rewatched Mean Girls recently. Did it still hold up for you? Let us know on our social media pages or down below in the comments on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. We want to hear from you. Now join us next week on our YouTube channel for our top 5 episode where me and a few special guests will count down our top 5 favorite sports movies in honor of March Madness. You don't want to miss it. Peace out, y'all.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Thanks so much for tuning into this episode of Sup Media Reviews. New episodes drop just about every week, and our brand new YouTube series is coming your way. So make sure you follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook so you never miss a thing. Got a movie, album, or show you think we should review? Send it our way. Until next time, keep watching, keep listening, and just chill. Till the next episode.